What is going on, everybody? I just got back into my car and sat down after watching Plane. Yes, I know, the most creative name of any movie we'll likely have in 2023, Plane. And when I saw the trailers for this, it looked interesting. Just a, Gerard Butler action movie, of which there are a ton of them. If you've watched Olympus Has Fallen, London Has Fallen, Angel Has Fallen, any of those, you kind of get the drift for how Gerard Butler action movies go. This one's a little bit different. He's not this just incredible, badass, done everything before type of dude. But let's get into it. Overall, what I expected out of Plane was for a lot of action, for a plot that maybe didn't make a ton of sense, but at the end of the day, it wasn't going to preach me. It was just going to be fun. I got a little bit more of plot than I probably thought I was going to, in all honesty. Being real, it was a little more than I thought it was. Now, it doesn't give you a ton of backstory. You get to meet Gerard Butler's character, who is hopping on a flight on New Year's Eve, going into New Year's Day. Not a whole lot of passengers on this flight. He's going from Singapore and eventually gonna, make his way across, I forget where the end destination was, Tokyo maybe, and then head on to Hawaii, something like that. It doesn't really freaking matter because they don't make it that far. And you also get introduced to Mike Colter. So I'll just call him Luke Cage because I'm probably not going to remember his name. Honestly, that's how I know him. The actor who plays Luke Cage, you know who I'm talking about. He's a prisoner who is being transported. He's got a little bit of a history. He's there for homicide, but it happened a long time ago. Sounded like kind of maybe wrong place, wrong time, but he is prior military. Something goes wrong in the flight. They go down, and it's all about survival after that because they land on a small island in the Philippines and not exactly friendly territory. Now, I'll probably get into a couple spoilers for anybody that does want to know. Before I do get into spoilers, I just say I liked it. I had fun. I expected to enjoy this movie. I expected for it not to be super deep or anything like that. But I walked out enjoying it. I really did. But what you end up getting into is they crash land, and all these passengers obviously relying on Gerard Butler as the captain. He makes the decision to take Luke Cage out of the handcuffs because he knows he probably, he might be a problem to the passengers that are there. If he lets him go, if he gets him out of his handcuffs, he might just run away and not be a problem anymore, or he could be able to help. And it turns out to be a really, really good decision for him. Turns out this entire island is run by essentially anti-government separatists who kind of have run of this little island. But not only do you have this plot going on, you have like this B plot of everybody at the airlines trying to figure out what happened to them. Like trying to figure out where they landed because they have no idea. They got struck by lightning. They lost all their communications. They lost all of their nav stuff. They don't know where they actually are. So the first part of the story, he really needs to find a way to get communication to somebody. He does that. Side note, Gerard Butler does have a daughter. He has a wife that passed away. That's kind of his motivating factor for getting home and his responsibility that he feels to everybody else on his plane. Gerard Butler was former military, but not a dude who saw any combat, really. And what I really liked about this was the first encounter we saw, the first action we saw when Gerard Butler gets jumped by someone when he's on the phone. And it really felt, it felt like a fight between two people who weren't really trained to fight. If that makes sense to you. Like, that's what it felt like. Two guys who were trying to kill each other who were not trained for this. Gerard Butler's frantically trying to do everything he can and eventually gets him in a spot where he is able to get him down long enough to break his neck, but it just was good. It wasn't like, oh, look at these guys know exactly what they're doing type of thing, or look at this guy, he knows how to do everything. It wasn't that. And it takes him a while to recover. Luke Cage's character comes in, and he is a badass. He's killed people before, so he's really able to help with all of that stuff. But eventually, they're able to contact them. The rest of the passengers get taken hostage. They have to go free the hostages, but at the end of the day, they know in order to distract him, Gerard Butler gives himself up, but that does give enough time for this kind of search and rescue mission to come find them. Some kind of a contract, paramilitary guys, contract guys that come in there and get the job done and help them. And they actually have to fly that broke-ass plane to another little island to get to safety. Overall, it was tense a lot of the times. You didn't quite know who was going to survive, who was going to die. A lot of people on the plane did end up dying. But I enjoyed it. It's fun. It's not as dumb as I thought it would be. I really thought it would be a dumb action movie. But it's kind of dumb at times, but not as much as I thought it would be. It's a movie that's not trying to preach a message to you. You're just supposed to walk in there, sit down for an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes, and be entertained. And that's what it was. I was entertained. I would recommend go watching Plane with Gerard Butler, especially if you like a bunch of the other stuff Gerard Butler does. If you like Olympus Has Fallen, if you like that kind of thing, you'll probably like this movie. Real quick, I'll say this about Gerard Butler's accent. He's supposed to be Scottish in this. You never quite know. Sometimes he sounds Scottish, sometimes he's putting on a poor American accent, but that's just kind of Gerard Butler's accent at this point in time. But let me know, did you guys go watch this? Are you interested in watching it? Don't mind all the crap here. I'm like moving a bunch of stuff on my car right now, no big deal. What do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comments section below, and I'll talk to you later.